Welcome back to the show. If one of your New Year's resolutions happen to be eating healthier, whether it's dietary or whether you simply just want to feel better about yourself, our next guest can help you with just that. We're joined by Kim Gurtler. She's a certified sports nutritionist and personal fitness trainer. Happy New Year. Great to have you back, Kim. Thank you very much. Now, I'm sure over the years you've had many, many clients that do the New Year's resolutions, and it lasts till about now.
Yes.
Today would be when it seems to end. What is the biggest reason you think most people fail?
Oh, I think people set unrealistic expectations. It's about keeping it simple. It's also finding a resolution that you want to do. It's not about what your wife, husband, partner, friends want. It's what you want to do.
Right.
But the most important thing is making it realistic.
Okay.
Right? If you're a couch potato, watching TV and potato chips, and drinking pop all the time, you're not about to get off the couch and go run a marathon and become vegan overnight. It takes planning, and it's just about setting small goals and being successful along the way.
You see that in the gym a lot, you know, that people get
Yeah.
a gym membership, that's it, I'm doing it, this is the year I'm doing it, and then at around mid-February, they're all cleared out and we get our machines back.
That's right. That's right, exactly.
Exactly. I got
That's
so many
very
friends
true.
that look forward to February. Okay, now the gym's finally empty and I get my 3 machines that I do my circuit on back, right?
Exactly.
Well, and I know I honestly, what happens for a lot of people, and Randall from Shea 106 was saying this on the radio yesterday, he decided he would go to the gym, and this is his, he went 7 days in a row to begin with.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get turned off. Like, he's gone from couch potato that you just described to, I'm in there 7 days a week.
Exactly.
That can be dangerous, too.
Oh, you can injure yourself, and then you're hooked for a month or two, right?
That's right, and it turns you off, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start with healthy eating. One of the things that you mentioned was getting more vegetables in your diet.
Yes, that is such an easy thing to do, and we cannot eat enough vegetables. Vegetables are an excellent source of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and fiber. They're a complex carbohydrate, which means that they keep that steady flow of energy through the day. You don't have those peaks and valleys when you eat tons of sugar and refined carbs, right? Complex carbohydrates is where you want to get your energy from. And you get that from vegetables mainly, right?
Right.
So, and it can be very simple as adding a handful of spinach to your smoothie. And honestly, it will change the look of your smoothie. It will not change the taste of it.
I buy those big, we both do that, right? Like
Yeah.
I get those big bags of baby spinach, and I put like 6 cups of spinach in, a little bit, half a banana, you know?
You can even throw that whole bag in the freezer. So you take it out, put your handfuls in, and you're ready to go.
Could you use those frozen cubes of spinach? Is that just as...
I'm sure you could. Why not?
Yeah.
As long as you have the right kind of blender.
Yes, the blender makes a big difference. Makes a big difference.
What are we preparing here today?
Oh, well, today we're making a minestrone, because one really easy way of adding vegetables to your diet is with soups.
Okay.
And whether you like a chunky soup or a smooth soup, it doesn't matter. Blender will smooth it up, right? So this is on and it's warm. So we're going to add a bit of oil to begin with.
Okay.
And minestrone is a great Italian soup, right? So you add just like a swoosh of olive oil.
Yeah, a swoosh.
About a tablespoon or 2. And then Derek, you'll be on spoon duty to begin with. And then you're going to add...
I spy with my little eye.
You know how old this is? That spoon is very old.
Is it?
Very
It's like
old.
a family heirloom.
Like
I better take care of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's add some onions and some garlic in there, because
All right.
everything Italian starts with garlic and onions, or actually anything delicious starts with garlic and onions.
It's true.
Oh,
And it's great, those are great winter vegetables too, because they have Allison group, onions and garlic.
Yeah.
They've got, they're antimicrobial and antibacterial, right?
Oh,
should
it's
hire
great.
her.
We totally should. You should.
I know. She always surprises me with her knowledge of things like this.
So
Perfect.
when you're trying to lose weight, I've been told to avoid things like Brussels sprouts and the starchy vegetables, because they do have a lot of sugar.
Yes, they do.
But there's also that whole question of the carbohydrates, right? So what's the answer on that? Where do
Well, you want to avoid white stuff. White rice, white potatoes, white bread. Anything white is a simple, refined carbohydrate. It will break down quickly and turn into sugar in your body. Absolutely. You get your carbohydrates from vegetables, from whole grains, from fruits. They have way more nutrition in them. They stick to your body a lot longer, and they're very delicious.
Right.
Very delicious.
See, this is already
This
a
is
meal
awesome.
for me. It
Look
just smells
at
so
that.
good.
It smells so delicious.
All
Now,
right, what
to
else? We've
that,
got some carrots.
we're going to have to chop some carrots. You
Okay.
can chop them
Do you want to do...
Yeah,
You
I'll
can
do
do
I'll
that.
take over this. So I'm
Make
not,
them big, because we will be blending this. Now, the
Okay.
key to this soup is it can be made in 20 minutes flat if you chop things small.
Right.
If you make them bigger, it will simply take a little bit longer.
Right.
No big deal.
So in the winter, this is a question, like if you are into organic and all that sort of stuff, How do you ensure a really good variety of fresh vegetables that are not just going to be your winter vegetables?
Oh, frozen fruit and veggies. Frozen vegetables are fantastic.
Because they have to be ripe when they're
They
frozen,
have to be ripe. They're frozen. They're flash frozen. They're delicious. They're almost even better than some of the fresh fruit we find in our supermarket.
Really?
Yeah, because they're picked fresh from the source and then they're shipped to us, right? And they're easy to store. I mean, Costco sells this massive bag of a mix of 11 Japanese vegetables. You add that to some broccoli, some noodles, and tofu and chicken. You've got a fabulous vegetable soup. And same thing with stir fries, right? Now let's add some of those chickpeas to that. Or add the tomatoes. You pick,
I'm going
really, it doesn't matter.
I love chickpeas.
Now chickpeas in a can, you want to soak them.
Oh,
And if you can, you find the ones that are low in sodium or no salt.
And why do you have
Just
to
as a
soak
tip.
them?
It kind of rinses them off. It
Okay.
helps minimize the side effects of perhaps eating a lot of fiber from legumes.
Oh,
If you know
yes.
what we mean.
Less
Oh,
side
we don't have to get into detail on that.
Detail. Now let's stuff the tomatoes
Okay.
on top of that. And there you go. Now, if you plan to have a chunky soup, you'd want to get the diced tomatoes.
Right.
Now
Right,
I have
okay.
the whole tomatoes because
'Cause
I
you're gonna
plan.
puree
I'm going to
that.
puree.
You're going to
this.
puree it.
Yes,
Because then
really
you can
gonna
hide
puree
even
this
more vegetables in,
thing. Exactly.
and nobody knows.
Nobody
Nobody
knows. Now to this, you add some stock. Now you'll add about 4 cups of stock, and again, you're looking for the low sodium kind of stock.
Right.
Cut back on that salt intake, right? Now the other great thing about the soup is we've just added
Look at
tomatoes,
that.
carrots, celery, onion, and garlic.
Right.
We will
Amazing.
be adding a bunch of spinach to it later on.
Okay.
But you can add sweet potato, broccoli, cauliflower.
Looks
You
amazing.
name it. You can put it in, and if you've got kids who are finicky, that's where the blender, the immersion blender
Yep.
comes in.
Right.
Turns this thing into a smooth, creamy consistency, and it's really fabulous. Now we put chickpeas in the soup, but you can put any legume you want. A lighter colored legume simply means the soup will look prettier
Okay.
than if you went with a black bean, let's say. But it's just as good with any type of bean.
Absolutely. When it obviously with your areas of expertise, physical activity. I mentioned, Randall as an example. He wants to eat the foods that he's always eaten and go to the gym and work his butt off. That's probably not the best
No.
way to go about it. How important is nutrition when it comes to your physical health?
It's huge. I mean, nutrition, eating well helps ward off tons of diseases, right? Also makes you feel good.
Right.
And it also, to lose weight, you need to eat differently. Exercise absolutely is very important to be healthy and to help manage your weight and to build muscles. But really, eating is what's going to help you. Eating well is what's going to help drive that weight loss. It's about
Okay.
drinking lots of water, staying away from those refined sugars, those pops, those juices, and sneaking in those vegetables. Every meal you should have vegetables, and ideally, half your plate should be filled with vegetables. And I know that at first, to tell someone who's not a vegetable fan to say, oh, half your plate should be veggies, it's not going to happen. It's like going to the gym 7 days a week. So it's about maybe adding a few baby carrots to your lunch with hummus or ranch dressing. And then it's about adding a green salad with your lunch or with your dinner at every meal. It's those baby steps so that you end up being successful and building on each step along the way.
And
Right.
not thinking that half your plate has to be baby carrots. It can be
No.
3 different kinds of vegetables.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? A little
Absolutely.
salad or a soup to start
Absolutely.
with. And I make soup every day in the winter.
Oh, good for
And
you.
the kids come home and they're like, "What's that
Oh,
great
yeah.
smell?"
Oh yeah.
I make my favorite is a mushroom soup, and I just sweat the mushrooms first, like a little bit of olive oil, some garlic, some fresh rosemary, and then it's a cream of mushroom soup. I puree it and
Nice.
put in like a tablespoon of low-fat cream cheese.
Oh, perfect.
So
Sounds
rather
delicious.
than the cream,
Yeah.
and it's so good, and it's
Why
so
aren't
low
you
fat.
making this on the show?
I know.
I don't
We're gonna
know.
have you on a Tuesday and make us one of your soups.
I love soup. I
I
really
do too.
love it.
And as I think for
Do you want to try this again, there?
now the reason why Kim is saying this is last time I accidentally unscrewed the top instead of just used the
Oh,
grinder.
There you
look,
go.
it's a beautiful
That's
thing.
Wow,
Yay,
thanks.
Derek.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
So now you would let this cook for about 15-20 minutes depending on how thick your vegetables are. And then
Right.
once that's done, you take the immersion blender. If you want a smooth soup, we're not going
Right.
to do it now because nothing is really
Right.
cooked. And then you make it nice and smooth.
Right.
And then once it's nice and smooth, then you take your big box of spinach of pre-washed leaves and you just take a couple handfuls and you throw it in there.
Right.
Okay.
And then it's delicious. And right before you serve it, you would chop up some basil, which I haven't done yet because I want to show you an easy way of storing fresh herbs. Fresh herbs go wilty, slimy,
Yeah.
icky in the
do.
fridge. You need to rinse them when you get them, wrap them in a Scott towel, put them in your plastic bag, and they will stay fresh
Look at that.
for a couple
Excellent.
of days.
Yeah.
Oh, if not a week. I had cilantro last almost 10 days.
No kidding.
Really?
Yes, earlier this
Because there's
this
nothing
fall.
more frustrating.
No, exactly.
Right.
You buy a
Exactly.
big thing of it, you only
Yeah.
use a little bit for one particular meal,
And
and
it
That's
comes
right.
out slime.
it's
That's
gone.
right. So
Yeah.
you rinse it, dry it, wrap it in a Scott towel, put it in a baggie, store it in the fridge, and it will last quite a while.
Perfect.
Excellent.
And then you slice your basil up, and a lot of the flavor comes from the onion, garlic, and tomatoes, but also from fresh basil,
Yeah.
fresh spice
The
and herbs.
smell comes in.
Oh,
coming off.
Great way to
Just
finish it off.
Fabulous, yes.
Kim,
it's
thank
delicious.
you so much for joining us
Well,
again.
thank
A real
you.
pleasure having you
Thank
on the
you.
show again. You can visit Kim's website, find out more information to get in touch with her to help turn your life around. Don't go away, more daytime coming up right after this.